Okay. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Inside the Journal with Sherea. Today is Sunday, December 4th, and we are going to take a look inside of the 2023 Goals Journal. This recording will be inside of the Goal Slayers Boot Camp, and I'm also live streaming inside of the Goal Slayers Mastermind group. Okay. All right. Thank you for coming. It's the day before Monday. You could be anywhere else, but here with me this Sunday night or watching the replay. So I appreciate you guys coming. I am Sherea Vejan, co-founder of the Goal Setters Club, author of the 2023 Goals Journal, coach, trainer, and speaker with the John C. Maxwell team, and doTERRA wellness coach. So on the coach. So I won't be able to comment on the actual Zoom, but I will be able to comment inside of the Goal Slayers mastermind group if you have questions during the replay. All right. Also, this is my beautiful family, my two daughters, Jazz and Ken, my son, Reginald, to the right, or maybe to your left, and then my husband, Brian, of over 31 years, who is on the call with us, Coach B. All right, Coach B, are you in the chat? There he is.
Absolutely. Hello, hello.
All right, so today's agenda, we're going to take a brief look through the 2023 Goals Journal, and then we'll have Q&A for those of you who are live. And if you have questions after, you can ask me on the video, underneath the video. All right, so let's get started. I am going to stop sharing this one, and I'm going to share the actual inside of the journal link. All right, there we go. Technology. All right, so we are going to go through the 2023 Goals Journal. So this is a small thing, but not really. If you get, and I'm find myself guilty being the author, sometimes I forget to sign books, which I have to stop doing that. Or if you give a book to someone, make sure you put their name in it. Put their name in there, put the date. Sometimes people actually forget who gave them the book. So there's a space in there for you to write the name of the person you're giving the book to, the date you gave it to them, and if you want to give them a special note, or even if there's a special page or section that you enjoyed inside of the journal, on the opposite side, there's a blank space as well. So you can say, hey, I thought this journal would be really good for you. I really love the financial section, or, start with the travel. We want to start month to month in order, but sometimes there may be a time when you just want to work on a particular goal. It is okay to go out, out of order. But that's a space for you to write that on that side. And then there is an original poem by myself, New Year, Same Me. I wrote this poem because I felt like a lot of times during the beginning of the year, we're saying, New Year's, new year, new me, new year, new me. And sometimes we don't need a new us. Sometimes the current us is we just haven't reached our potential yet. And so this is pretty much saying it's a new year, but I'm the same me, except now I'm chasing my destiny. I began my journey as a caterpillar, now radically transforming into the butterfly I was always meant to be. So sometimes it's just finding the right tribe and the right people to be in your circle to help encourage you and push you along to the person that you already are. So the new year, same me. Table of contents, you have a note from me, my personal goal setting journey. Also, how to use the journal. There's 7 simple steps to reaching your goals. There is the before the goal section. So before the goal, these are all the things that I recommend you do before you start reaching your goals. Let me check the chat. I think it's hard for me to, I think I can't read the chat while I'm in full screen mode. So I'll have to look at those when I'm done, okay? If you're inside of the mastermind, you can also put notes there and I can read them on my phone. So before the goals section, I believe that this should be the first place that you start. It is a bit of work. It's a workbook. There's an I am section. There's a forgive yourself section, brag on yourself, examine who you are now, own who you are, remember your why by creating a visual, discovering your purpose, making room for your goals, your ideal life, your mission statement, your word of the year, your theme song, and then there's the let's get started section. So the let's get started section is where you're going to put, we start off in January, your health and fitness goals, February, relationship goals, March, your finance goals, April, your home goals, May, self-care, June, fun and recreational goals, July, personal development, August, career and business goals, September, family goals, October, spiritual, November, travel, December, giving and celebrating. Brian, if there's anyone else in there, and if there's any chat, if you want to be in charge of that, if you see anybody that needs to get in, please help me with that. I can't see the
Okay, I will.
I can't see it on my screen. And then there's a 2023 resource guide. My tips on how to successfully achieve your 2023 goals. There are some sample goals for you to consider, sample goal routines that you can use as a guide. My recommended reading list, and it's a really, really good reading list. It's not books that I threw together. It is books that I actually have in my library, books that were recommended to me. So it's a really, really good book list. There are motivational quotes. There is a chapter on creating your soundtrack, music that you want to listen to that gets you in that goal setting mode. And then there's a space for you to write out your notes and your ideas. All right. And so then you have a note from me just congratulating you, getting you started on your journey. And then my personal goal setting journey, I go through how I was raised. I go through my first experience with goal setting. I also talk about my first goal setting workshop that I taught in Los Angeles. I talk about my vision board party that we started, or workshop that we started with my family back in 2009, which is kind of how we really got started, by having our first workshop together. And then we go through how to use the journal. So there's a space here. Most of you who are into goal setting, you know there's an acronym called SMART goals, setting SMART goals, making sure that the goals you set and that you write down are specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, they're realistic, they have a time limit on it. And then we have 7 steps to reaching your goals, which is 1, identifying your goals and writing them down. 2, establishing balance in your life. 3, researching your goals. 4, writing goal-related affirmations. 5, visualizing your success. 6, creating goal achieving routines. And 7, celebrating your accomplishments. Then we go through January through December. Let me get a little bit of coffee. Then we go through January through December. January, we're working on our health and fitness goals, just like we talked about in the table of contents. February, March, April, May, June. So we kind of go through, the goal is to go through and complete 1 chapter every month. And as you're completing those chapters, you're creating routines. So again, this is the breakdown of the 7 steps and a little more context with that. And then it talks about the additional resources that are listed in the back of the book. This is the before the goal section. So in the before the goal section, I kind of break down why because this wasn't always a section in the journal. This section was created after my daughters started to graduate high school. And so we created this section really based on my daughter Kennedy, who had some challenges as she graduated from high school, and all the things that we talked about from third grade on up were now irrelevant. And so I didn't know how to deal with that. So I created this section. And so I figured if she was dealing with that, adults are dealing with that, other people are dealing with that too. So sometimes it's not the goal that we're struggling with. It is sometimes we've changed. Sometimes we don't, sometimes we want something different. Sometimes it's we have to change our mindset. Sometimes we have to make room for the goal. Hey Debbie. Oh, I'm going fast. Okay, sorry. So now we're on before the goal. So this section is the before the goal section. These are things to consider before you craft your 2023 goals. And so on this section, I actually do a whole course on this because it is a lot, but I really do believe that before you start to set your goals, this is an important place to start. Is that slow enough for you, Deb? Sorry, your girl over here be trying to be doing a 3-hour course in 20 minutes. So this is the I am section. This I remember this day like it was yesterday. It was one day I woke up and I was feeling some type of way about myself and just crying and I'm not here. I know we deal with that. Don't slow down. I had to see. Oh, okay. And I remember my husband calling me going, hey, you have accomplished some things. You are, I used to say back in the church, you're not where you want to be, but you're not where you used to be. And sometimes we have to remember that. We have to take a look back and say, hey, I may not be where I want to be, but I'm not where I was last year. And so this section is kind of saying, giving you an opportunity to say, this is who I am. And it's not about your job. It's not about what car you drive. It's not about your position. This is all about who you are as a person, where you can say, hey, I'm loving, I'm caring, I'm forgiving, I'm creative. So you have an opportunity to write things about yourself that's not related to material things, and then being able to go back to this page if you need a little bit of motivation. And then page 25 is forgiving yourself. I'll just read this. The key to a fresh start is to forgive yourself frequently. Goal setting should be challenging, but it also should be exciting. The goal setting process should never be stressful. Try not to be too hard on yourself and appreciate the journey as it unfolds. Knowing better leads to better actions. Instead of blaming yourself for mistakes, learn from them and do things differently in the future. So as you'll see, this journal has plenty of space for you to record your wins. You're going to record your wins all throughout the journal. But this particular section is to forgive yourself completely. And so it's asking you, what's the one thing you need to forgive yourself from 2022? And for me, I already know what it is, and it is this weight loss journey. And sometimes I have to say to myself, hey, girl, you are not 100 pounds anymore. And that comes from just being self-aware, and not only self-aware, just like the scale is what it is. So I have to forgive myself for not staying focused, not staying consistent with the gym, not staying consistent on my diet, not because I already know what to do. I already have the game plan. I wrote it. I know it works. And so I have to forgive myself and move on and not keep going, oh my God, you didn't get on the treadmill today. Okay, we'll get on it tomorrow. But forgive yourself. And so start here. If you didn't write the book last year, forgive yourself. If you didn't lose the weight last year, forgive yourself. If you didn't start the business last year, forgive yourself, and then move forward and start it this year. Maybe you didn't make those phone calls you wanted to make in those relationships. Forgive yourself from that and move on. Bragging on yourself. It's easy for some people. It is easy for some people to brag. And some people not so much. There's so many talented people here, and sometimes we shrink, or we don't want to give ourselves the props, but just like Muhammad Ali said, it's not bragging if you can back it up. So for me, I've written 11 books or more. And so sometimes I have to say that. What goals did you achieve last year? And my daughters have to remind me about that. But I've been better at celebrating. So in this section, you're going to write, what did you achieve? What were you proud of? Did you finish any books? Maybe you didn't finish a book, but maybe you wrote an article. Maybe you didn't finish your book, but maybe you wrote half the book. Write down at least things that you achieved, because you also want to come back to this page and say, hey, I did do something. I got an award. List 3 positive adjectives that describe who you are today. We kind of did that a little bit in the I am section. I'm a giver. Maybe you're a giver. That's something that you can brag about. Maybe you're the office snack person. Maybe you bring bagels and cream cheese to the office and help hype up that momentum. So brag on yourself a little bit, and then list at least 3 things that you are skilled at. Maybe you're a speaker, maybe you are an accountant, maybe you are a singer. What are you skilled at? And make sure you write in this brag on yourself section. Gabby, if you're still there, we're also going to be starting up the meetups again in Rancho Cucamonga on the first Monday of every month at 7 p.m. All right. Examine who you are now. This is so important. There was a time when, let me see if I can see this chat. I can't. Brian, can you see the chat? There's like 2, looks like there's 2 comments in there. I can't see it. If there are, you're on mute. If there are, I'm pretty sure you probably can answer any questions as well. Let me unmute you. Oh. Are you muted? All right, so, oh, you know what? That's why I can't hear you. Say that again. No, I can't hear you, sorry. Let me see. Oh, I can hear you now, whatever you just did.
Okay, are you able to hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, now that's me making the comment, so I'm able to see the chat, but yeah, that's me doing the chatting.
Okay. So
you said Debbie was on. I didn't see Debbie on.
She's on the so I can't see the Zoom. I can see the video from Zoom, but I can't read the comments from Zoom, but I can see the comments inside the Facebook group. So I'm streaming live in the Facebook group, so I can see comments there.
Oh, you got the multitasking thing going on.
Well, it's on my phone.
Okay, well, that's smart. That's good.
All right, so examine who you are. Be careful not to copy your unfinished goals from 2022 on to 2023. You want to use this time to pause and think about what you want from this year. Last year's goals might not be relevant to you this year. And so instead of going through your whole journal, copying, oh, I didn't do this, let me put this over here. You want to take some time to say, do I even want that? Is that even relevant? Is that even important to me? So this may take some time tomorrow morning, or figure out which time you want to work on your journal and really ask yourself the question. If you want to get to a different destination, you have to start with the truth of where you are. And so that's from Michael Hyatt. And then next, own who you are. Own who you are. Go ahead and read that section. It's a really good section. Sometimes you could be in a space where you feel out of place, or you feel like you don't belong, or you feel weird, or you feel like an outcast or a misfit. Sometimes you might be in the wrong environment. Sometimes you might need a different tribe. I am learning that, the more you The more books you read, the more information you get, the more you change, the more your mindset changes. Sometimes you have to change your environment. So this is a good place to start with your assessments. And this is also listed on my website, shereavejan.com. Assessments, / pages, assessments, and just knowing what your love language is. If you're in a relationship, that's really important to know what their love language is and keep that in mind as you're interacting with each other. Your Myers-Briggs, mine is INFJ, your DISC assessment. I'm also a certified DISC trainer with John Maxwell. So if you need your DISC assessment, I can do that for you. My 5 Clifton strengths, and then your Rizzo Hudson Enneagram, career insight. I took this one when I was at Chaffey College. It's really, really good. It helps to pair up your personality with what your career would be. So they use that a lot in college. My shape and my spiritual gifts, those are good for those of you who are inside of your church and you're volunteering inside the church, or maybe you have a leadership position. Those are really, really good assessments to take. I took those when I was on staff at New Song as well. So when you take these assessments, you kind of have an idea of how you're wired, how you work, what you like, what's best. And it doesn't mean you stay there. It just helps you to be a little bit more self-aware of who you are or where you are at this stage. And then remembering your why by creating a journal, by creating a visual. Visualize this thing you want, see it, feel it, believe in it, make your mental blueprint and begin to build. I don't know how many times when I say, oh, I want to lose weight, or I want to look like this, or I want my stomach to look like this, right? But then I go see the picture, but that's hidden somewhere, and then you get hyped. Or even just like you're sitting watching TV and next thing you know, a commercial comes up, it's the same. Oh, that's a nice hamburger. Let me go get it. It's like the things that are constantly in your face encourages you or gives you that like, oh, that looks good. So if you keep your goals in front of you, keep your vision in front of you, keep that business in front of you, keep your desired outcome of how you want to look, feel, and be and do. Maybe it's a car you want. It's different in your head knowing you want that car, but taking that picture of the car and keeping it on your computer or keep it on your desk and seeing it every day, it just does something. So make sure that you remember your why by, and it doesn't have to be a vision board. It could be a photo collage on your desk, a photo that you take with you on the go. I don't know if you guys remember, I forgot the name of the movie, but it was like Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise, and he was driving him around in this car, and he always had a picture inside his glove box. He always kept that picture, and while he was working, he was thinking about the end goal. So just keeping that with you, discovering your purpose. And again, these questions, and I say that here, these questions won't help you find your purpose, but they will help you get moving in that direction. And there's just a couple of questions. Have I been living my life's purpose? If yes, how do I know? If no, why not? That'll take you like 5 weeks to have self-reflection and trying to just answer those questions. What advantages would I enjoy if I knew the purpose of my life? What do I really believe in? What's unique about me? What burdens do I have? And a lot of times your burdens, sometimes, I've had friends who were adopted and their passion or their burden was for other kids who were adopted. And that's what they do either as a occupation or they volunteer, on the weekends. Or do you care about, are you burdened by the homeless? I was watching a video today with my husband about a guy who would get homeless people off the street and clean them up and do their hair. I mean, he has a whole nonprofit. So sometimes your parents might have been homeless, you might have been homeless, or you might have been in a situation and you grow up with that passion. And this is where you put those at. What burdens do you have? What do you care about? What do you really love? Do you love poetry? Do you love flowers? And then what can I do all day, every day, besides eat? What can I do all day, every day? And so these are things I love it's so I'm not gonna say it's so weird, but I love goal setting. Like I love hearing what people want. I love to hear what people want to do. And then I always think it's possible. And instantly, when someone tells me what they want to do, I always think about what kind of book can I share with them? What kind of website can I lead them to? What kind of resource do I have? And I want that for them. Whatever they want for themselves, like I want that. And I think that's a part of how I grew up, not having those people in place to direct me into where I was supposed to go. I feel like now I have an opportunity to help direct people. Making room for your goals. This is a really good story. I talk about Steve Harvey and the story he had with his mom about moving his car out the driveway because he wanted a new car, and she kept saying, "Okay, well, move your old car out the driveway." Well, that ain't got nothing to do with my new car. And she kept saying, "Move your old car out the driveway." Well, they don't have nothing to do with my new car. And finally, when he moved the car out the driveway, he went and got his new car, because where are you going to put the new car? So sometimes we have to make room, because when we make room physically, sometimes we're also making room mentally. Or when you don't make the room mentally, it never happens physically. If I'm thinking, let me move this space right here, I need a new couch. Let me move this space, get it ready, because I'm gonna get my new couch. So just start thinking about, making room. Maybe you want to make room for a spouse, but if you're making room for another person, but everything is one, you got one fork, one cup, one plate at the house, but you're making room, or maybe you're making room to have family dinners. Maybe you want to have Christmas dinner at your house, or then you need to start by making sure you have more than two plates at the house. Maybe you want to start buying buffet things, so just start thinking about what it is that you want to do and start making room for that right now. All right, your ideal life with no restraints. Write out your ideal life, your ideal morning, your ideal day, your ideal income, your ideal cars that you want to drive, just your ideal life. Or what does your day look like if it's the ultimate day that you can have? And then your life's mission. I also give some recommendations for, let me move this out the way. There is, let's see, make your life a mission, not an intermission. And so I have a mission statement for my business. I have a personal mission statement. There is a book, most of you should have it, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If you don't have it, it's a good book to start with. And if you read habit 2, he gives a step-by-step instruction on how to create your personal mission statement. And then you can Google online other personal mission statements and start there. And then here you can write your personal mission statement. I think if you, maybe I put the link. If you go to my website, I know I have my mission statement listed on my website. And then your word of the year. What word would guide you through 2023? The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. And sometimes just concentrating on your word of the year will put you in a mindset. So my word of the year was perennial. But as I started getting closer to the end of the year, I have changed my word to dominate. And so dominate is a hard word for me because it's going to cause me to work differently, because there's a difference in working and there's a difference in dominating. And so I know as I work, I have to work in a dominating way, which is different. So that's my word of the year. And hopefully you guys will see that as I enter into 2023. And then your theme song. I thought I had a theme song, but I kept listening to it today. I like the words, but I don't know if I really like the melody to listen to it every day, but I really do like the words. It's called Big by Mike go Pastor Mike Jr. I love the words. Maybe I could remix it. Maybe I can have somebody remix it and make it go like a little faster or something like that. But I don't have my song yet. That is like my top song right now. And then we get started. This page is going to be really important because you want to visit this page every day. If you do something every day in your journal, you want to visit these pages. After you write down, if you can only achieve one major goal this year, what would it be? And you want to put that in that first section. Because sometimes, life happens and it is a lot of work in the journal. We are trying to get your whole life together. We want to get your finances together. We want to get your travel life together. We want to make you give. We want the best for you. And so we're asking a lot throughout the year. However, sometimes life happens, you get busy, but you always want to come back to the main goal that you want to reach this year. So you want to put that first. And then your next top 3 goals for 2023. What are your top 3 goals for 2023? And then you want to go, what goals do you want to achieve in 5 years? Because it's unbelievable how fast the time, just this month passed by. This year passed by fast. So 5 years is going to pass by sooner than you know. And then what goals do you want to achieve in 10 years? And what goals do you want to achieve in 15 years? Right? And then your balance goals for 2023. Let me get a little water. So what is your number 1 physical goal? Health and fitness goal? I know what mine is. I think now I need to lose like 50 pounds. First it was 20, now it's like 50. My number 1 relationship goal, your number 1 finance goal, number 1 home goal, number 1 self-care goal, number 1 fun goal, your number 1 personal development goal, your number 1 career goal, your number 1 family goal, your number 1 spiritual goal, your number 1 travel goal, and your number 1 giving goal. All right. All right. So now we go into the monthly goal setting. So this is when all the work, we're really before the goal, if you do that correctly, that's some good work. And the reason why I recommend doing that first, because if you discover some things in your assessments, or if you discover, hey, there's some things that I really don't want, or I'm a different person, I got a different mindset, these sections are going to change as well. So January, we're going to work on our health and fitness goals. And then we also have a challenge every January. January, we do our plant-based challenge, and that's 21 days. If you're a part of the Goal Slayers Boot Camp, that is a free course for you. If you're not, I believe it's $20-something. It's either 29 or 21. So each page, let's go through that. So each chapter it has a summary, and usually it's my personal story, and then some encouragement. There's quotes, wise words. There's a space for you to write your top goal down. What is your number 1 goal? Why is that goal important? 1 obstacle that could stop you from reaching this goal. And please don't leave that out, because in life, there's going to be obstacles. And if you write it ahead of time, and it doesn't mean that it's going to stop you, but it means maybe you can work on finding ways to overcome before the obstacle comes, right? 1 skill you could learn that will help you reach this goal. Okay, Debbie, thank you. Yeah, we're going to have meet up at Panera, or it's going to be at our house. But I will get you that information, and I will email you. All right, 1 person that can help you reach this goal, your plan of action for achieving this goal, and what day will you complete this goal? And this is your main goal for that. So if your main, whatever goal you wrote on your other page for your top goals for 2023, you're going to put that number one goal in this section, and you're going to write out a whole plan for that. Then on the opposite side, you're going to write down your additional goals. So say like for me, let's go back. I didn't plan on doing this, but say like for me, my number one health and fitness goal is to lose 50 pounds. I have to. It was 20. This goal is important to me for a whole bunch of reasons. I want to, besides fitting my clothes, period, and then fitting my clothes better, and then how I feel. And I probably, so yeah. So it's important for a whole bunch of reasons. Sleeping better. One obstacle that could help me keep me from reaching this goal, coffee. Brownies from Trader Joe's. That's an obstacle. Me not wanting to go to the gym. Another obstacle is my, I'm still working a regular job, full-time job, and running my business. And sometimes I don't want to work out, honestly. Sometimes I have to choose between, let me put this donut in my mouth real quick or go make a salad. And it's easy to get the donut just like everybody else, One skill I can learn that will help me reach this goal is discipline. I need to learn the skill of just being more disciplined when it comes to this area. One person that can help me reach this goal, my trainer, George. George can help me reach the goal. And then my plan of action for achieving this goal. My main plan of action, I enrolled in the gym transformation camp. The goal is to stay in that camp. And the goal is to also, when I'm not working out with the trainer, is to work out at home. And I have everything lined up. So I just need to do it. And then I will complete this goal definitely by December 2023. But I may have a part 2, maybe like June 2023, I would lose the first 25. And then by the December, I'll lose the other 25. And it's possible. I know what to do. And then research, my support team. So it would be my gym. It could be my husband. It could be my daughter, because people who live in your house, you want to try to get them involved to help you. You might need people outside, but you also may need people inside. Books and magazines that can help me reach my goals. I have plenty of books and magazines on health and fitness. Podcasts, there's a lot of podcasts, websites, Dr. Ags, and I give a lot of resources too in your resource guide. And then media sources that can help you reach your goals. So like apps and video games, stuff like the Wii or Fitness Wii or things like that, right? And then writing your affirmations. I had my affirmations in the back. I don't know if I have them in here in this version of the journal. Let me see. No, but I do have them on my website. If you go to shereavejan.com and Google, and search affirmations, I do have my health and fitness affirmation on there. And then remember your why by creating a visual. So this is where you put that picture of your number one goal. If your number one goal is to lose weight, if your number one goal is to eat better, if your number one goal is to become a vegan, your number one goal is to whatever that is for health and fitness, then you want to take your photo and you want to paste it in that space. And then you want to create your routines. So here you're creating a routine. So if my goal is to lose 50 pounds, and then I'm going to do fitness Friday, I'm going to do water Wednesday, I'm going to do meatless Monday, I'm going to do salad Saturday, I'm going to do detox bath Sunday. And so whatever routines that you can incorporate into your weekly, daily, monthly, yearly routine, then you want to put that here. Because I believe that's one of the obstacles also. It's like we don't reach our goals because we don't have we say we want to do something, but we don't have routines in place to make that happen. Okay, and then your highlights. So for the month of January, once you reach your books, get your routines together, figure out who's on your team, the support you need, you'll be able to write out what your highlights are. What was your biggest accomplishment this month? Right? And then celebrate. How will you celebrate? When I lose 50 pounds, I'm gonna celebrate by buying a new wardrobe, buying some new pants. I already bought some clothes. I bought clothes before I lost the weight that I can't fit, that I will be able to fit then. So you could go shopping. You might want to go, maybe not eat, but you want to put in advance how you're going to celebrate. And then your success notes and random thoughts. Maybe you learned something new. Maybe you watched a video and it was like, oh, I'm gonna start doing that. I started learning about, that's another situation. I started seeing an esthetician, and then I started having like a little sun damage on my face, or I noticed my face was breaking out. So based on like different meetings, I learned about, I think I knew about it, but I didn't need it, or I wasn't into it. But now I'm starting to learn about vitamin C, and then turmeric on my face, and night creams. I never used night creams before. So now I'm experimenting with different things. So here in your success notes and random thoughts, maybe you heard about something came up, something new, something you want to research later. You have a space to put that in. And so this is the same. You're going through February, same concept. You have your summary, you have your goal of the month, you have your summary, you have your wise words, you have the same thing set up for each section. The same process, writing your routine. So that is for your relationship goals. And then in March, we have our finance goals. So I give you my story, I give you a summary of what we're going to do. Again, we have wise words here. Same thing. What is your number one financial goal? Hold on. Okay. Same process for all 12 categories. We go into April, our home goal, set a goal to get your house in order. Talks about your atmosphere and your living space. You have your wise words. May, self-care, taking care of yourself. I give you my story, wise words. And then you go into June, your fun and recreational goals. I'm gonna drink some water, coffee real quick. Personal development goals, which is my favorite. It's one of my favorite. So this year I kind of expanded this section a little bit, because I realized that this is my favorite topic, but last year I think it was like one paragraph. So I said, I need to expound on this. So I kind of talk about my journey on how I first started in personal development, how I had a friend who bought me a tape. And then from that tape led to another tape. And then from that tape, it was Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, James Allen, Earl Nightingale. So I started listening, and I still listen to, I have so many audiobooks. And so I expanded that section a whole lot. And then we have some wise words over here. One of the ones I really like is, the quickest way to become an old dog is to stop learning new tricks. So sometimes as we get older, we say, oh, I know that already. I did that before. I had that business. I've been in business for 50 years. It's like, well, we have some new tech, even with me. I've been in business for a long time, but I haven't been on business using Zoom a long time. I haven't been on business doing text messages to clients. So I haven't been in business on TikTok. I haven't been in business on LinkedIn. And so as we get older, and as we started, we start evolving, the world changes. And so we have to learn new things. Another one here is, the greatest enemy of learning is knowing. Sometimes we think we know everything, and then we're not coachable, and we don't have an opportunity to grow. So the personal development space is, there's a lot of leaders in that space now. So you have a lot of opportunity and options for books and courses and magazines. So please continue learning. And if you're in this group, you are. So August is career and business goals. September, family goals. And this section is interesting because it has changed over the years. It's evolved over the years. When I first wrote the journal in 2012, my girls were small. My son still lived with us. Now, my son's married, my daughter's married. Um, you know, we don't have little kids anymore. So your family dynamic changes. You may not have small kids. You might be empty nesters. You might just might be you and your husband. It might be you might be taking care of your in-laws or your family members. So this family dynamic changes. And so that's just like the personal development space. You have to change with your family. Things are different. October, spiritual goals. I talk about in here, understandably, this category will mean many things to many people. Your faith often determines who you will marry, where you work, if you work on Saturdays, how you dress, and more. Some of us pick our faith, and some of us adopt it from our parents. And of course, our family's belief is in God. So that's what shapes our lives and how we make our decisions. So during this month, spiritual goals, again, that is going to look different to everybody. Sorry, I just got to click on. But you want to discover your spiritual beliefs so you can demonstrate those beliefs in your goal setting efforts. Okay. All right, and then we have November, our travel goals. And that talks about my travel experience, which is very little. And then all right, and then December goals, where we are now in December. Of course, this is for 2023. Especially now during Christmas time, where everybody's in they're in the giving. It's the giving season. People tend to be very generous during the season, so there's no better time than now to plan how you want to show up in the world through giving. This is also the end of the year, end of the tax year. So sit down and think about the causes that you care about, things that you're passionate about, whether it's foster care, sex trafficking, homelessness, single moms, or kids with disabilities. There's a lot of nonprofits that are asking for your support, and you'll see a lot of posts up. You'll probably get a lot of end of the year giving letters. So based on what you care about, based on even how you grew up, how we talked about earlier with adoption, this is a perfect time to give. And I think a lot of people, and I'll say this too, because I was on staff at a church for about 8 years. I volunteered in church, and a lot of people give at the end of the year, but a lot of nonprofit organizations, they need you throughout the year. And so even though this is a good time to give, I also would ask you to consider setting up some type of monthly contribution to these organizations throughout the year, so they survive. And it's not just nonprofits. You can give to people who work with you. I know a lot of times, it's happened to me a few times in Chick-fil-A, where I'm driving through and then they go, "Oh, the person ahead of you paid." And it just becomes this chain reaction. Okay, well, I'm gonna pay for the person in back of me. So it becomes this type of giving. So you can give advice. You can give compliments. Sometimes people don't. Sometimes you can keep that advice. Maybe you don't want to give that during December. You can give advice. You can give a hug. You can give a note. You can give a compliment. These things don't cost you. They cost you time. They may cost you a little ego, but that's free. So this month of December is giving month. So this is Christmas time. You can get away with it, right? Same setup. You have your quotes here. And I like this quote right here. It says, "I have found that among its other benefits, giving liberates the soul of the giver." And if you, a lot of times when you give and you see the reaction of the person's face, it's done so much more for you than that gift itself, All right. And that is time to celebrate. So I know like usually people are celebrating New Year's Eve, bringing in the new year. And this is also the perfect time because not only are you celebrating the new year, same me, you're also celebrating your accomplishments by working through this whole journal through the year, taking month by month. I'm pretty sure at this point you should be a new person. You should grow from this. And this is your resource guide. You have successful tips on how to reach your goals. You have about 36 tips. Ask for help. Be an early bird. Brag on yourself. Brainstorm. Check to see if your goal is still relevant. Count the cost. To reach your goals, there are some things you may have to give up. You may have to give up time with your family. You would give up your hobbies, your favorite foods, or whatever the case for you. Are you willing to do that? So here you have, these are, I think sometimes people wait to the end of the year to read these tips, but if you go backwards and read some of these tips, I think they would help you in your goal setting journey. Focus on one thing at a time. This is so hard for me. And I have a coach right now for my business, and it's just focus on one thing, Sherea. Focus on one promotion, focus on one offering, give that the best. And that's so hard for me. But even in goal setting, sometimes you have to focus on one thing at a time. Or at that space. Hey, I'm going to exercise from 4 to 5. Then I'm going to work on this goal. And then I'm going to work on my writing instead of trying to multitask everything. So keep it simple. If you're trying to take on too much at once, you may end up feeling burned out and uninspired. Instead, try to break down the large goal to eliminate all the, see if you can create some simple shortcuts and determine whether you might be making things more difficult than they should be. So breaking those goals down. So yeah, these are really good. Let's see. And sample goals to consider. So these are some goals in case you get stuck and you're looking for health and fitness goals. These are some that you could start off with. Drink 1 gallon of water a day. Everybody doesn't need to drink 1 gallon of water. It's based on your body weight. Work out 3 days a week. Take a 15-minute walk every day. Do 50 sit-ups each morning. Buy organic fruits and vegetables every Friday at the farmer's market. Stick to a meatless Monday. Maybe every Monday you can say, hey, this is meatless Monday. I'm going to go without meat. Taking a multivitamin every day. Relationship goals. Schedule a date night at least once a week, especially for our married couples that's been married a while. Sometimes you're at home. God can stay at home all day, all year, all week. And sometimes you have to just get out and say, I'm going to specifically make a special day to have a date night, period. What else? Financial goals, your home goals, self-care, meditate for 20 minutes every day, take a detox bath every Saturday, take a power nap, get a massage once a month. Yeah, people used to tell me about massages. And then until we actually started doing it, it's a game changer. Personal development goals, read 100 self-development books a year, learn a new word a day. Learning a new word a day. I know when my girls were smaller, that's what we would do. We had the dictionary.com and we would take a walk around the backyard every morning. And as we walked around, I would read the word of the day. So you can get dictionary.com on your phone. You can get an alert set up. And every morning it'll send you the word of the day. And then you can go look up in the thesaurus and it'll give you another word. So these are simple little things that you can do to help reach your goals or help you grow throughout the year. And then there's a list of career and business, spiritual, travel, family. And then here you have some sample routines. So these are some routines that are simple to add to your weekly schedule. All right. And recommended reading for goal setters and achievers. I was going to do a little sample for you guys, but I had a girl who showed me when, like here, she would highlight in yellow if she purchased the book or she was reading it. And then when she finished it, she would put it in orange because you could just go over that yellow with the orange. So when you're going through these books, there are. So say like Hello Tomorrow. When I bought that book, I highlighted in yellow, and then when I read that book, I put it in orange. That way, when you're looking at your pages, you can see if it's white, that means either you don't have it, you haven't read it, you haven't started it. If it's orange, you know you read it. And if it's yellow, you know you have it, you own it, and you're working on it. Or if it's yellow, it's reminding you, oh, I started that book. Let me go back and read it. So these are some really, really good books for personal development. And for those of you who are business owners, this is an old book, but it's really good. God is my CEO. Yeah, everything on here is good. And for those of you who are filmmakers or into film or creativity, Produced by Faith by Devon Franklin, bomb book. It kind of incorporates the movie world with his faith, and he does a really good job of breaking that down. All right, and then motivational quotes. And then I have a bonus download that has, I think it's like pages of quotes. This is my personal motivational soundtrack. Not only do I have it printed here for you in alphabetical order, I have it on, if you go to shereavejan.com, purpose playlist, it is on my Spotify. And so if you go to that page, you can actually stream this playlist from that page. And your success notes and brilliant ideas. Hey, we made it through the end. So as you can see, there's a lot of time and effort and has gone into this journal, not just for myself to sell it, but I actually want you to use it, which is why we're doing this course right here. I want you to use it and get use out of it and to know what's in it, which is why we're doing the goals, why we're going through inside the journal. And these are just well, let me go over this. The Goal Setters Club is our company. We have on-demand vision board or on-demand virtual goal courses, quarterly goal challenges. So we're going to have a challenge coming up in January, a plant-based challenge. We have a water challenge. We have a self-care challenge for 30 days in May, and that's really good. There's ebooks, journals. There is a virtual goals boot camp. There's John Maxwell coaching resources. We have a yearly gift guide. We have personal development workshops. So every first and third Wednesday at 7:30, I'll be doing a goal workshop. And well, I have one next Wednesday. And then educational email series. And then there's also goal gear. And then this right here is my coaching schedule, virtual coaching schedule. So on Mondays, we have 52 Mondays with Sherea Vejan. I think tomorrow we're on week 49, maybe. Goal tip Tuesdays, workshop Wednesdays. So we have Thursdays, weekly educational emails. We have strategy Saturday. And then every day with Sherea, and then the daily blog post on the goalsetters.com. So, and then on here, oh, here's a list of the challenges. So January 2nd, oh, my audio is low. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? January 2nd, we do the plant-based challenge. Also, January 2nd, we start over. Huh? Can you hear me? Oh, no. I can't hear you at all. I can take out my head. Can you hear me? Nod your head because I can't hear you. Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear me or not, but I'm gonna keep going. January, we have our 52 Mondays with Sherea John. February 6th, we have our 5-day gym and juice challenge. And then we have our water drinking challenge on March 6th through the 10th. And then May 1st, we have our 30-day self-care challenge. So you have enough challenges to get you through the year and to keep you on track. And let's see. And this is a little bit of our workshop Wednesday session. That's it. Let me go back to. All right, so that is our look through the journal. And I will go ahead and continue with. I had some tips. Hold on. Let me go back into my. I didn't print that out. 1 second, guys. All right, so I'm going to give you just a couple of tips. One is find. I should have had this ready. Find a quiet place if you can. Sometimes it's hard to find a quiet place, but if you can find a quiet place, try to block out. Well, if you're going to do it every day, which I recommend, maybe like every day in the morning, like 30 minutes. But if you're going to do once a week, try to block out like 1 to 2 hours, maybe on Saturdays. You could say, okay, from Saturday from 6 to 7 or 6 to 8, I'm gonna work in my goals journal. Make sure you look at your vision board, have your vision board visual that you can see it every day. Try not to have any distractions when you're working in your journal. Try not to multitask. Create the right mood. You know, I love candles all day. You know, candles, your music, comfortable clothing, whatever it is that you need. I also have this little backpack. So I keep my book, I keep my journal in my backpack. I have my little radio. I have my little pouch with my, you know, my sticky notes. So if you keep everything here, you put it away. You take your backpack if you want to go to the park, if you want to go to the outside, you know, you can put everything in the pack. Let's see. Have your water, have your coffee, have your food, have whatever. The whole goal is to grab your journal, grab whatever you need, and sit down and have that time. And that's all you do. And then when you're done, you get up. So if you have everything together, there's no need to get up. What else? And then maybe have your family do it with you. If you have an important, if you're going to the gym, find a gym partner. If you are trying a new plant-based or trying to be vegan, then have somebody else do that with you. Don't try to do it by yourself. So either get a group, join a group, or start a group. There's plenty of groups. You know, we have a group inside the Facebook group to help keep you accountable. If you still need to order journals, we're going to be shipping out the last of the journals this week. If you still need to order journals, you can do goalsjournal.net, or you can also get them at Amazon. I do believe if you're an Amazon Prime member, you get free shipping. I don't want to keep saying that because I hope that you get free shipping, but I know the last time I was on there, they were shipping out the Goals journals for free for Amazon Prime. So we have the paperback. Did I just put that away? We have the paperback version. We have the spiral version. Oh yeah, we have the paperback version. I believe this is $10. And then we have the spiral version, which is my favorite, and I usually tap mine up. This is about $20. We have the digital, the dynamic digital duo. And that is, I want to say it's $9 or $10. And you get the goals journal and you get a weekly planner. You do have to print that out. Or if you have an iPad, you can put it in your, I think it's called OneNote. You can upload it there. You can write in your journal there. So if you get the digital copy and upload it in your iPad. And then I have the triple threat digital goal pack that has your weekly planner, it has your goals journal, and it has your 2023 business marketing calendar. So if you have a business, that is a really good tool to help you stay focused and on track throughout the year with your marketing. Here's the planner too. So this is what the planner looks like. Unfortunately, I know you guys have been paying a lot on the shipping because the journal itself is like almost 300 pages and the planner is about 300 pages. So it's a little heavy on the shipping. This is what the regular, I'm gonna show you something. This is what the regular business marketing calendar looks like. I wanna say it's, what? 65 pages. This is what mine looks like. And so what I did was put mine in a 3-ring binder, and then I cut the pages out. So I printed mine out, and then I put, once you see how it makes sense, like there's a page that has press releases. I have the press release page, but then behind that, I have all my press releases, or I have ideas of press releases that I want to send. So mine is actually this big. And I teach a course on that too. I'll be teaching a course on that December 11th. For those of you who have businesses. So the bonuses, so you get inside of this course, you get the Dream Big, a step-by-step guide on how to create a powerful vision board to help achieve your goals. That is a download. So if you go into the portal, there's 3 downloads. There's this one. And then you have a download motivational quote to keep you inspired through the year. There's a lot of quotes in here. Pages of quotes that are goal related. And then there is Sherea Vejan's tips on how to successfully achieve your 2023 goals. And there's about 37 tips in here. Right. All right, we made it through. You can visit the goalsettersclub.com. We have a bunch of courses on there. Some will be updated this year because as I do the more lives, we'll be replacing those new lives and updating the materials there. And then you can follow us on social media, Sherea Vejan, and then Goal Setters Club. All right, any questions? I know Debbie had to leave. Hey, Yolanda, I didn't see you. I'm sorry. I'm just not seeing the chat. Hey. All right, any questions? All right, if you are, I can see you guys on Facebook. Sorry, I didn't press that. I can't see you on Zoom. So if you have comments on Zoom, Brian, you're in there if you want to answer any questions. All right. Thank you for joining us. Did you have any questions, Yolanda? You probably can teach this class. You've been getting the journal for so many years. All right, you guys. So I'm going to edit this video because I know there was a lot of stuff happening in the beginning, and then I'll repost it. Okay. So thank you guys for joining me. I will be back on Wednesday for 7 simple steps to achieving your giving goals. I'm going to go step by step through the giving goals section. I'm going to give you tons of resources and possible charities that you could support. I'm going to tell you places that I support. I give monthly to people, to certain organizations every month. I have a list, and then our end of the year. What else? So we're going to go through that. And then December 14th, I think. Hold on. We're going to be doing the before the goal, and then we'll be doing the business marketing on December 11th. So I'll put all the events inside of the chat. and also inside of the group. All right. All right, you guys. I will see you. You're gonna see a lot of me. You're gonna see me. You're gonna see me in 2023. All right. Talk to you guys later. Now, I can't hear you, babe. You look like you're rapping. Let me get off this line. My husband has started rapping. Okay.